Hello friends. Welcome to another episode of our channel. Today, we're going to explore some fun facts about bizarre human experiments that have happened throughout history. These often unethical and disturbing experiments show us how far some scientists and governments were willing to go in pursuit of knowledge and power. Let's start. Project MKUltra was a secret CIA program conducted in the 1950s and 1960s that sought to develop mind control and interrogation techniques. The experiments involved using drugs such as LSD, electroshock and sensory deprivation on subjects, often without their consent. While much of the MKUltra records were destroyed, the documents that remain reveal a dark and disturbing history. Tuskegee experiments. The Tuskegee experiments were an infamous study conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service between 1932 and 1972. The study involved 600 African American men, of whom 399 had syphilis. Participants were not told about their illness, and instead of being treated, doctors let them suffer the effects of syphilis to study the progression of the disease. The experiment was only terminated after an informant reported it and generated public outrage, leading to significant changes in medical research ethics laws. Peter Tripp's sleep deprivation experiments. In 1959, radio DJ Peter Tripp decided to conduct an experiment on himself, staying awake for 201 consecutive hours, the equivalent of more than 8 days. During the experiment, Tripp began to experience hallucinations and paranoia, believing that those around him wanted to kill him. Despite completing the challenge, the effects on her mental and physical health were long-lasting, highlighting the dangers of sleep deprivation. Nazi experiments. During World War II, Nazi doctors performed a series of brutal and inhumane experiments on concentration camp prisoners. These experiments included exposure to extreme temperatures, drug testing, and surgery without anesthesia. Many of the prisoners died or suffered irreparable damage as a result of these experiments. The doctors responsible were tried and convicted during the Nuremberg trials, and their atrocities led to the creation of the Nuremberg Code, setting out ethical principles for medical research. Stanford experiments. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo conducted an experiment at Stanford University in which students were divided into groups of guards and prisoners in a simulated prison. The objective was to study the dynamics of power and the influence of the environment on human behavior. However, the experiment quickly spiraled out of control, with the guards becoming increasingly violent and overbearing, and the prisoners suffering physical and psychological abuse. The experiment ended after just 6 days, revealing how easily ordinary people can engage in cruel and degrading behavior. Wendell Johnson Isolation Experiment, 231-430, on video. The Wendell Johnson Isolation Experiment, also known as the Monster Study, was conducted in 1939 by a group of researchers led by Johnson. The aim was to study the development of stuttering in children, exposing half of them to constant criticism and discouragement whenever they made mistakes in speech. Children in the control group received only positive reinforcement. The study had devastating consequences for the children in the experimental group, many of whom developed permanent speech problems and low self-esteem. The experiment is widely considered one of the most unethical in the history of psychology. These stories of bizarre human experiments show us the dark side of the quest for knowledge and power. They are important reminders of the need to keep ethics and humanity at the heart of scientific and medical research. We hope this video was informative and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing and shocking content. See you next time.